Good morning, Chief. Good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're all doing good. Thanks for coming again, once again, right, to watch my webinars. I'm really happy because the number of participants in the webinar on different channels is increasing over the time. There are few people in YouTube, there are few in LinkedIn, and there are few people watching from Zoom. I'm very happy to welcome you all. Great. Yes. Hi, Santosh. Good morning. Shriram is not there in the session today. He may join very soon. If not, I'm the one who is going to lead it today. So no problem. Hope you're all doing great. Hey, Rajesh, welcome back. Hope you're doing good. So is my audio clear? Am I audible? Yes or no? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Hope you are able to see my screen. I'm showing this scaled agile framework full picture or big picture. We call it as safe full picture or big picture, right? Hope you're able to see that. Awesome. Great. So today we are going to talk about program level events and team level events, or else some people call it as ART level events and team level events. Before we start talking about the events, right, let's talk about what is Agile team and what is Agile release train, right? So what am I going to do now? I'm going to annotate here, see this picture and tell me who are part of the Agile team, who are part of this Agile team. How many roles are there in an Agile team in scaled Agile framework? Let me wait for the answers. How many roles are there within an Agile team in scaled Agile framework? Yes, 3 roles, right? Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development Team members. Correct? Good, awesome. Let me see the chat window. Yes, you're all right. So Agile team consists of Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development Team members. And this Agile team is like a basic building block of any enterprise that implements scaled Agile framework, right? Let me ask you this question. If you're really working on a bigger product or a solution or a system, right? Or maybe some application development, what do we do? When we are really working on a bigger product or a system or a solution, do you think single Agile team is sufficient? Or what do we do usually? I know few of you are replying me on LinkedIn. I understand, but I'm right now watching the Zoom channel, right? So what do we do when we are really working on a larger product, bigger systems or the solutions? Single Agile team is sufficient or not? I'm waiting for the chats. If you're really working on a very bigger products or a system or a solutions, not sufficient, right? What do? We hire more and more people. We hire more and more experts. We form more and more teams, correct? That's when scaled Agile framework, in scaled Agile framework, we launch the Agile release train when we are really working on a bigger product or a solution or a system, which requires multiple teams. When multiple teams are formed, what's going to happen? There will be a problem with communication, coordination, alignment, synchronization, dependency management, risk management, etc. So Agile release train is going to help us to solve that problem, right? So when we have multiple teams working on a product development or a system development or a solution development, we go and launch the Agile release train. What is Agile release train? Anyone who has watched my other webinars will be able to answer. What is an Agile release train? What is an Agile release train? Let me wait for your answers. Yes, let me see. I don't know what is CFT. Maybe you can expand it. So Agile release train in simple terms. Sorry. Yeah, it's cross-functional. You're right. Perfect. Even Agile team is cross-functional. Agile release train is going to be cross-functional. Agreed, right? And it's a team of multiple Agile teams. It's a team of multiple Agile teams, right? Simple terms, it's a team of multiple Agile teams, correct? How many teams can be part of it approximately? Anyone remembers that? Yes, Santosh, you're right. It's a group of multiple Agile teams. Perfectly said. 2 to 5, maybe more than that actually. To say the truth, it's more than that. So what is the, yeah, let me see the chat window. Awesome. Maximum is 12, right? Awesome, yes. 5 to 12 Agile teams can be part of it. So it's a team of multiple Agile teams, correct? At the team level, if we follow a Scrum framework, what are the events we follow? Ceremonies or the events? Let me see who's going to answer this question. At the team level, right, when the team is following Scrum framework within a scaled agile framework, what are the events they're going to follow? Or ceremonies, right? Let me see the chat window. Within a team, when we follow Scrum framework within a scaled agile framework, what are the events or ceremonies that we have? I'll give you some clue. See that and you can answer me. But Rajesh has already answered. Sprint planning, iteration planning, daily stand-up, iteration review, iteration retrospective. And we have one more important session, which is backlog refinement session, right? We do that continuously, right? Awesome. That's what is called as team level events in scaled agile framework. Let me show you the same thing on another picture, right? You know, I'm not a big fan of presentations. You know that I don't prepare much presentations for my session. I usually take the pictures from the Scaled Agile website. This is also one of the pictures that I took from the Scaled Agile website, right? So do you see this team level events in the inner circle? As one of our few of our teammates said, iteration planning, daily stand-up, review, retrospective, and backlog refinement session, correct? So these are the team level events. At the ART level, right, it's a bigger group, correct? So we have some more events and we call them as ART level events, Agile Release Train level events. PI planning, Scrum of Scrum, PO synchronization, right? System demo, preparation for the PI planning, inspect and adapt event, right? Have you heard about PDCA cycle before? Have you heard about PDCA? PDCA. What is it? Can you tell me the expansion for it? Yes, yeah, what is the expansion of it? PDCA cycle. Let me wait for the answers. Yes, of course. Plan, do, check, act, right? Plan, do, check, act, or some people call it as plan, do, check, adjust, right? Awesome. Can you tell me what is relevant to plan? What is relevant to this P at the team level? What is relevant to this P planning it at the team level? Among these events, which is relevant to P? Iteration planning, right? Awesome. Doing is nothing but iteration execution, the sprint execution, right? What about checking? Which event, team level event, is relevant to the C, checking? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, iteration review, right? Great. Which is relevant to act or adjust? See, I'm not teaching you anything, right? You are teaching me. That's the fact. That's the beauty of this Scaled Agile framework and Scrum framework. You're all aware of it already, right? Yes, retrospective, right? We are going to find out the improvements and we are going to adjust or act accordingly, right? So now we'll do one more thing. So there are ART level events, right? Let's find out the relevant events to this PDCA, right? Which is relevant to this plan at the ART level. You can see all the ART level events in the outer circle. You have the answer in this picture. Let's see who's going to answer. Right, PI planning, right? So similar to iteration planning at the team level, we have something called as PI planning at the ART level, Agile Release Train level. Iteration planning is all about within a team, right? Within a team, within an iteration, team is going to plan. But PI planning, it's at the ART level. Multiple teams are going to participate, stakeholders are going to participate, business owners, product management, system architect, right? All are going to come and participate in that event. Now, doing is nothing but execution. So program increment execution or PI execution. Within that, similar to daily stand-up, we do Scrum of Scrum event and we do PO synchronization event. In some ARTs, we combine both of them. We call it as ART synchronization event. We'll talk about them one by one, right? We'll talk about them. And what is checked here at the ART level, among the ART level events, which is relevant to this checking from PDCA? Yes, system demo, right? Of course, all the team's work has to be integrated, and that integrated work is going to be showcased as a demo to the Agile release train level stakeholders, right? Awesome. Now let's talk about acting or adjusting. Which event is relevant to that? Or which represents that adjusting or acting from this ART level events? Let's see who is going to guess it. Of course, within the IP iteration, we do this inspect and adapt event, right? Where we find out the improvements and we want to adjust accordingly. We find out the improvements, prioritize them, pick few improvements, and we want to adjust and adapt accordingly, right? Let me see the chat window. Of course, you're all right. Perfect. Perfectly said. So what do we do? What are we going to do now? We are going to start with this iteration planning, right? Tell me, what do we do in the iteration planning? What do we do in the iteration planning? What is the goal or purpose of that event? Iteration planning. Within the team, every iteration, starting of the iteration, we participate in this iteration planning, correct? So we plan, right? We plan for that particular iteration. We plan for that particular time box, right? Thank you, Ravi, you are right. We plan and we also commit to the goal and we also commit to the backlog that we want to execute in that iteration, right? We see the chat window. Awesome, correct. So daily stand-up, what is the purpose of that event? What is the purpose of daily stand-up? Daily stand-up, I'm waiting. I know you need some time to type. I agree very well. So daily stand-up, what is the purpose? Sorry, let me see the chat window. Yes, we want to understand how the team is progressing towards achieving the iteration goal, right? So we talk about there is an agenda. If you wish, you can follow the same agenda, but if you have any other better agenda, you can follow it. There is nothing wrong in it, right? So yes, within those 15 minutes, we talk about what did we do yesterday? What are we going to do today? Are there any impediments, blockers on my way towards achieving the goal? Are there any blockers on my team's way towards achieving that iteration goal, right? Awesome. Daily stand-up, it's all about understanding how we are progressing towards achieving the goal of that iteration. Awesome. Iteration review, what is the purpose of that event? Yes, as Ravi said, to know where we are, what are the impediments. Perfectly said. What about the iteration review, sprint review or iteration review? We call the sprint as iteration here, right? So iteration and sprint, one and the same. Tell me, what is the purpose of the iteration review event? Iteration review event. Yeah, we showcase the progress. Actually, during the daily stand-up, we talk about how we are progressing. During the iteration review, we showcase the progress to the team stakeholders or relevant stakeholders, and we take the feedback. So how we showcase the progress? By showcasing the demo of what we have accomplished, right? Yes, of course, PO and stakeholders of the team will come and provide the feedback to them, right? The stakeholders and PO will come and provide the feedback to the team, correct? So that the team can improve the product accordingly. Awesome, right? Backlog refinement session. When do we do that? Do we need to do it in a cadence? Or what's your opinion? Should we follow the cadence? Should we follow the rhythm or pattern to do this backlog refinement session? What's your opinion? And tell me what is the purpose of that event. That is also there. Cadence is always good. Doing the events at the regular intervals of time is always good. So let's do it in a cadence, maybe once in an iteration or twice in an iteration. If you feel that you require more, you can do it. There is nothing wrong in it, as long as the backlog refinement session does not take more than 10% of your team's capacity, right? Yes, cadence is always good, right? So tell me, what is the purpose of backlog refinement session? What is the purpose of the backlog refinement session? Purpose of backlog refinement session. Let me see the chat window. Yeah. Yes, prioritization is one of the activity that we do during the backlog refinement session. So we create the backlog items if needed, right? If needed, we can do it there also. There is nothing wrong in it. We do the refinement, we do the prioritization. Of course, these are all part of the backlog refinement session. But what is the purpose of this event? To prepare. Yeah. It's not about planning for the next sprint. Maybe I can put one more word saying that preparation for the next iteration planning. We can say like that. Okay. Team backlog must always contain some stories that are ready for implementation without significant risk or surprise. Of course, backlog refinement session is going to achieve this, as Ravi said, right? Awesome. So backlog refinement session is all about, right, preparing the backlog for the upcoming iteration, keeping the backlog ready, backlog items ready for the upcoming iteration planning. Now, let me ask you one more question, okay? It's a simple question. Let's see who is going to answer. Let's assume we are in iteration 1. We are in iteration 1. During the backlog refinement session, are we going to discuss about the backlog items from iteration 1 or iteration 2? Let me know. Let me ask that question once again if you want. Yes, why? Let me ask the question once again. We are in sprint 1 or iteration 1. We are already executing that, right? Maybe second week or first week of the first iteration. Now we have a backlog refinement session. During that time, are we going to prepare the backlog for this iteration or this sprint, or are we going to prepare the backlog for the upcoming iteration? Upcoming iteration is the right answer, iteration 2. We are not going to refine the backlog for this current iteration. We are going to refine the backlog and make the backlog items ready for the upcoming iterations, right? Very good, appreciated. I'm very impressed by your answers because I feel you're all experts already, right? Good. So backlog refinement session purpose is to prepare the backlog, make the backlog items ready for the upcoming iteration before the iteration planning, right? So that we can find out the risk, if any, impediments, if any, dependencies, if any, for the upcoming iteration. We can try to talk about it, discuss about it, remove them if possible, right? Awesome. Iteration retrospective. Now tell me, what is the purpose of this event? Iteration retrospective. What is the purpose of this event? One second. You can chat meanwhile. Okay. What went well, what we can do better? Of course, that is an agenda for the iteration retrospective, right? Process improvements to improve the team's effectiveness, inspect and adapt, right? Very good. Quantitative and qualitative analysis happens, right? Very good, true. Very good, Yusuf. I'm impressed by your answer. So iteration retrospective is all about finding out the improvements, right? To improve the team's effectiveness in the upcoming iteration. Not only that, we have to appreciate the team for what they have done, right? If they have done a great job, if they have done something good, right? We want to maintain that. It's not just about improvements. It's about maintaining what good things we have done in this current iteration. So we also identify a few items that we can maintain in the next iteration. So improvements as well as good things that we want to maintain. And Yusuf was mentioning about qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis, right? Quantitative analysis is nothing but bringing the iteration metrics, talking about why these many defects, how can we avoid it, what is the root cause for the problem. We also talk about it. There is nothing wrong in it, right? We also talk about last iterations improvement items. Did we achieve them or not? Did we achieve the iteration goal or not? Right? And we also see the iteration metrics to identify where it went wrong, what was a problem, why the quality has got reduced. We discuss about all these things. There is nothing wrong in it. So quantitative analysis is all about seeing the numbers, metrics, and doing the analysis and coming up with the improvements, right? Qualitative analysis is all about asking the questions like what went well, what did not go well, what can be improved, what can be maintained, or you can make it iteration retrospectives very creative also. It does not have to be like this. You can be very creative and innovative and come up with some agenda. There is nothing wrong in it, right? Very good. So iteration, ideas for increasing the efficiencies and productivity. Of course, you're all right, right? So increasing the efficiency of the team, and also we also find out few items which we want to maintain in the next iteration, right? Good, appreciated. So we talked about all the team level events, right? We talked about the PDCA cycle that we follow at the team level, right? Let's talk about the PDCA cycle at the ARD level, right? So PI planning, program increment planning. It happens once in a program increment, approximately once in 8 to 12 weeks or once in 10 weeks, right? Can you all go on mute, please? Help me by going on mute. Thank you so much. So PI planning happens once in a program increment. It's like a heartbeat. If we don't do PI planning, then we are not following scaled agile framework at all, right? It happens once in 8 to 12 weeks or 10 weeks. Now tell me, who will participate in this PI planning? I talked about it already when I started this webinar. Tell me who will participate. Let me see the chat window. Right. Business owners, product management, product owners, agile team, complete agile release train, architects, right? Stakeholders, right? All will come and participate. Yes, Scrum Masters, product owners, development team members. Development team members means programmers, testers, UI developers, UX developers, database developer, right? Everyone who is involved in the development of the product should come and participate. Product management, system architect, release train engineer, business owners, stakeholders, all will come and participate in this PI planning. I have seen in many PI plannings where the executives comes and participate, like a leadership right team, they come and participate, they come and communicate the current state of the business, they come and talk about the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats the organization has towards this product development. Product management will come and communicate the vision, roadmap, program backlog, right? And also system architects will come and communicate the architectural vision, quality practices, technical approaches, etc. Teams, right? They will plan for their upcoming program increment. They'll plan for upcoming 10 weeks approximately. Yes, they will plan. That is all about PI planning. It's like a heartbeat. If you want to learn more about this PI planning, I have already done one webinar. Maybe you can take the link from Rahul. He'll give you the link. You can go and watch it. I have explained about it very clearly. Okay, so PI planning represents the plan from the PDCA cycle. Now tell me, who will come and participate in the Scrum of Scrum event? Yes, Sudeep, I'll talk about this exam question later. Can you ping me end of this webinar? I will answer this for everyone, okay? For sure, I'll answer. Good, Prithvi says, all the Scrum Masters from all the teams and release train engineer will come and participate, right? If there are 5 to 12 teams under this Agile release train, all those 5 to 12 teams will have a Scrum Master, right? And there'll be one release train engineer. So they'll all come and participate. Facilitators, right? They'll all come and participate in the Scrum of Scrum synchronization event. What they will discuss? Any idea? What they'll come and discuss during the Scrum of Scrum event? Any inputs? what Scrum Masters and RTEs will do there, or what they will discuss there. Let's see who is going to answer. Yes, they'll come and talk about the progress of their teams, right? They'll also talk about the impediments that their team has, right? Progress, impediments, etc. will be discussed during this Scrum of Scrum synchronization event. If the Scrum Master is unable to help the team to resolve any impediments, then Scrum Masters will take that impediment to the RTE's notice, and RTE may provide all the support, right? Very good. PO synchronization event. Who will come and participate in it? Who will come and participate in the PO synchronization event? Give it a try. Yes, all the product owners, all the product managers from this ART will come and participate in this PO synchronization event. What they will discuss during the PO synchronization event? What they'll discuss? They'll discuss about the progress, scope changes, priority adjustments, if any. If anything happens in the market suddenly, like market events, rhythms, they'll come and discuss about it. They'll come and discuss about the demand, etc. Right? So PO synchronization event is all about discussing about the progress, scope adjustments, priority adjustments, if any. Right? Even the stakeholders can participate if needed. Subject matter experts can come and participate if necessary. Even in Scrum of Scrum synchronization event, if the subject matter expert is required, they'll come and participate. Development team members, if they want to discuss about something important, they'll come and discuss. There is nothing wrong in it, right? But mostly in Scrum of Scrum synchronization event, all the Scrum Masters and release train engineer. In PO synchronization event, we have all the POs and PMs, right? Some ARTs, we combine both of the events and we call it as ART synchronization event, where all the Scrum Masters, all the POs, product owners, all the product managers, release train engineer will come and participate in it. Same thing, they'll discuss about progress, impediments, scope changes, priority adjustments, if any, market changes, all those things could be discussed there, right? So great, let me see the chat window. Yes. Goal, program, goal progress, how they are progressing towards achieving the PI objectives, program implement objectives will be discussed in the ART synchronization event. Very good answers actually. It won't happen daily, but it depends. If needed, it can happen more frequently or it can happen weekly, but we always define the cadence and we participate at the regular intervals of time. So it can happen weekly or more frequently. It depends on the need actually, right? Good, awesome. Let's talk about system demo. System demo, right? Who will come and participate? Because at the team level, we have something called as iteration review, which happens end of every iteration, end of every sprint, right? System demo is also going to happen end of every iteration. So iteration review is also going to happen end of every iteration. System demo is also going to happen end of every iteration. Maybe system demo may lag by one iteration. That means it may not happen in the first iteration. It may happen from the second iteration. That could happen. That's acceptable, no problem. Right? Right, who will come and participate? In the iteration review, the respective team will participate and respective team stakeholders will participate and they'll see the demo for that particular iteration. They'll see and understand the progress of this team for that particular iteration and the stakeholders may give the feedback. System demo, right? This is at the ART level. All the Agile release trains work will be integrated and that integrated system will be showcased as a demo during the system demo end of every iteration to the ART stakeholders. Here it is team stakeholders and teamwork. Here ART, all the teams work, the ART's stakeholders will be showcased as a demo. Let me check the chat window. Yes, we always want the team to do the demo, right? We always want the team or teams to do the demo, right? Who will lead these teams during the demo, system demo? Product managers, product owners, they will lead these teams to showcase the demo to the ART level stakeholders end of every iteration, right? Preparation for the PI. Yeah, let me see the chat window. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sudhir. Now, let's talk about preparation for the PI planning. Do you remember I said that at the team level, we participate in the backlog refinement session. We prepare the backlog for the upcoming iteration, planning. Same way, at the ART level, we have something called as preparation for the PI planning. That means we have to prepare for the upcoming PI planning. What kind of preparation? As I said before, business owners, executives will come and talk about business context. So they have to bring it. They have to prepare and bring so that they can communicate the same thing. Product management is responsible for preparing the vision or updating the vision, right? Preparing the backlog, and they are responsible for preparing the roadmap, right? And they will bring it as an input for the PI planning. System architects are responsible for preparing the vision, architectural information, to provide the technical guidance, development practices, etc. And they will bring it for the PI planning. What's team job? What team has to do? Agile teams are also responsible for preparing for the PI planning. They should know what is the work they are going to do in the upcoming program increment. So what is the work? It is a feature, right? So they understand the feature. They break the features into smaller stories or high-level stories or the starter stories, and they bring it as an input for the PI planning. So team should prepare the starter stories, identify the dependencies if possible, risk if any if possible, impediments, etc. They prepare it and bring it for the PI planning, right? So that is all about preparation for the PI planning. When it is going to happen, it's also a continuous process. Like backlog refinement session, preparation for the PI planning is a continuous process. So it's better if the RTE and Scrum Masters discuss, collaborate, and come up with the cadences to conduct this preparation for the PI planning session. That's the best approach, right? Finally, inspect and adapt event. So let me see, Rajesh is asking 5th iteration, right? No, I'll not say that. It's a continuous process, actually. Doing the preparation for the PI planning in the last iteration is a good approach, but not only in the 5th iteration. I always suggest the teams and the ARTs to prepare continuously towards the PI planning, right? We don't have to spend too much time. And we are not going to spend very little time also. There should be a balanced preparation for the PI planning, right? Awesome, right? Let me check the chat window. Good, thanks Rajesh. It's a very nice question. So let's talk about inspect and adapt event. Tell me who will come and participate in it. Give a try. Trust me, you may not know the answers for it, but when you search for the answers in the Google and then you come back to me, you're going to learn from me. You're going to learn from other participants in the webinar, and you're going to learn from your subject matter expert, that is Google also, right? That's why I always start with a question and then I give the answers, right? I gather the answers from the participants and then I give the answers. So inspect and adapt event. Who will come and participate? This is the last event in that program increment. Very important event also. This is what is going to close the loop, right? Let's see who is going to answer. Who will participate in this event? Let me check the chat window. Agile teams, POs and PMs, almost everyone from the ART should come and participate in this event. As Rajesh said, yes, Agile team members, product management, system architect, release train engineer, business owners, stakeholders, leadership, they'll all come and participate in this event. Very important event. Why? This is when we are going to do the final demo for that whole program increment. If there are 12 teams in an Agile release train, let's assume there are 12 teams, right? And these 12 teams work for the last whole program increment, right? 8 to 12 weeks or 10 weeks. Let's assume 10 weeks. So 12 teams worked for last 10 weeks, and that work is going to be integrated. And that integrated system will be showcased as a demo during the inspect and adapt event. And the stakeholders of the ART is going to give the feedback, and teams will note it down and they'll try to improve the product accordingly, right? After taking the feedback, After that, teams will talk about the metrics they have measured, and they'll showcase that in front of the stakeholders, right? And they'll try to find out if any problems or the impediments, systemic impediments that were stopping the team from performing well. Let me repeat it. After showcasing the demo, after taking the feedback, teams will also showcase the metrics that they have updated, right? Agreed upon metrics will be showcased, right? And they will do some more measurements and all. They will do that. I'll not deny that. After that, teams will find out the problems or the systemic impediments that is totally outside the team's control. And those problems and systemic impediments will be addressed during the problem solving workshop. So inspect and adapt event has 3 parts in it. PI system demo, the final demo, qualitative and quantitative measurement, and finally the problem solving workshop. During the problem solving workshop, they'll try to problem solve the problems that they have identified as one ART, as one team, right? Let me check the chat window. Hackathons, innovation, and yes, the final iteration in any program increment is called as IP iteration, innovation and planning iteration. During that time, the teams will participate in innovation activities like hackathon, coding dojo, white paper contest. They'll also participate in trainings. They will participate in knowledge transfer sessions, and they will participate in this PI inspect and adapt event, and then in this PI planning. Not only that, they also prepare for the PI planning during the last iteration, as Rajesh said. I agree, right? Any questions, please post it in the parking lot. This is just a high level information. If you want to learn more, I'll tell you where you can learn easily, right? I'm going to give the link. If you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, go and read this article. Whatever I have talked about, it's all given in this link, okay? So the link is in your chat window. So as you all know, I don't prepare the PPTs. I don't believe in it much because everything is available online. Why do I have to prepare it, right? So you can have a look onto it when you have some time. And if you have any questions, doubts, you can ping me on LinkedIn. My name is Aishwarya Radhakrishnan, right? You can ping me on LinkedIn. I'm there available. Or you can reach out to Rahul, he's there to support you. Or else you can ping me the doubts in this chat window. I always follow this time boxing, once I complete the work, whatever I wanted to cover, I'll stop. I'm not going to drag it much. So I'm done with this today's session, right? If you have any questions, please let me know. And there was one question from one of our teammates. I always call our people as teammate. Let me see that. So for your questions, leading safe certification, what kind of questions can we expect? I cannot tell you what questions will appear. Maybe I can guide you how to pass the exam, how to prepare and pass the exam, okay? You might have attended the 2 days course, right? So hope you understood the concepts. Or if you are going to participate in it, ask all the doubts, clarifications from your trainer. They'll be happy to help you. That is first step. Second step, go through the digital workbook. There is something called as digital workbook, which will be given to any trainee, correct? Go through the digital workbook at least twice or thrice, right? Understand all the concepts. Don't by heart anything. I don't believe in it. Don't by heart, but understand each and every concept. That is second point. Third point, go to the same community portal. You will have a practice exam, right? Free practice exam will be available. Take it again, right? Until you gain the confidence. Whenever some question goes wrong, search about it in your digital workbook, learn about it, and retake the practice exam once again, right? When you gain the confidence, then go for the final exam, right? That's what my advice would be. I cannot talk about questions from the exam. I'm not supposed to do it, but this will really help you to prepare and appear for the exam. Let me see the chat window. Thank you, Sudhir. So team, any other questions, any other doubts, you can contact me. I'll just show my LinkedIn profile. You can connect with me if you wish, right? And I do this free webinars every month, every 15 days once sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm opening my messages. I'm getting used to this, right? Good. This is my profile. So if you want, you can connect with me. Whenever I open the LinkedIn, I immediately go to the messages section. Right. Okay. If program increment goal have 5 items and 5 workflows, then 4 system demos will be conducted during the system demo, assuming 4 workflows are completed. I will tell you how it is. Maybe I'll cover this alone from here, okay? Let's assume this is the program increment, right? 8 to 12 weeks or 10 weeks is ideal. So let's take it as 10 weeks. Let's assume this program increment or PI is 10 weeks, right? And what is the ideal duration for a sprint or an iteration in Scale Agile framework? 2 weeks. So program increment is nothing but multiple iterations, right? First iteration, second iteration, third one, fourth one, and final one. Rahul, can you please mute other participants? I'm used to this noise and all, but other participants may feel bad. So please mute. Good, I have also done that. So one program increment will have multiple iterations in it, right? So when do we do the system demo? End of every iteration, end of every sprint. After the iteration review is done, we do the system demo. And end of the program increment, we do the final system demo. We call it as PI system demo, which will be part of the inspect and adapt event. Hope I answered your question. Practice exam, it will be one set of questions coming again and again. So Sudeep, you have my LinkedIn profile, right? Ping me there. I'm happy to help you and guide you, okay? Because that topic is irrelevant to other participants. That's the reason. You ping me anytime, I'm there to guide you, right? Awesome. So Rajesh, for your questions, it will happen end of every iteration, right? And end of every program increment. So enhancement to the SRM portal, advanced search function. Okay, I think you want to message someone and you message me. That's okay, Sudeep, completely fine. So team, if no questions, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Yes, Malesh, please post your questions in your chat window. Happy to answer, right? Right, for learning about solution level and portfolio safe, can you suggest any videos or links? Of course, I'm ready to do it. Malesh, you just put your questions. I'm happy to answer. So for your question, Prithvi, go to this picture, right? The link has been given in your chat window. I want you all to go there, okay? All the participants, go to that link, open that link, right? Each and every icon in this picture, right, is clickable. And those are all hyperlinks. So if you want to learn more about large solution, click onto it. If you want to learn more about portfolio, click onto it. And the interesting part is this large solution, SAFE, will have multiple links within it. And those links will have multiple links, right? So this will really help you to learn more about large solution configuration and portfolio configuration, right? Hope I answered your question. Yes, of course, Ravi, I'm ready to share my LinkedIn ID better. I'll share my LinkedIn profile link, okay? Yes, it is there in your chat window. Connect with me anytime, right? Many of you know me already because I'm seeing you all attending every webinar. Is a SAFE certification helpful in our career? I'm a PMP certified in SAFE, which to choose POPM or SAFE 5.1. Of course, the learning is going to help you a lot in your career. SAFE certification has a huge demand in the market because many of the giants in the industry, they are adopting SAFE. So it's going to be really helpful. That's the first answer. Answer for the first question. You are PMP certified, great, right? That is also one of the toughest certification to acquire. That's a great job. In SAFE, which to choose? It's up to you. Do you want to, if you want to become a product owner or a product manager, or are you already playing the business analyst role or product owner role or a product manager role, right? If you want to get into such roles, of course, you can go for Scaled Agile framework, product owner, product manager, right? If you're not involved in this product owner, product management, or business analyst role and all, you can go for leading SAFE. Of course, it's a good one, right? Very famous. So SAFE 5.1, you said, right? Leading SAFE course, if you take it, once you complete the exam, you will be called as Certified SAFE Agilist. I think you're talking about it. Yes, SAFE Agilist is a very famous course in the industry. Your clients or your customers or your interviewers, they can easily recognize this certification, right? This is one of the course which is being sold easily, huge demand in the market. Clients also easily recognize that, okay? Awesome. Thank you so much all. If any questions, any doubts, don't hesitate to ping me. I'm there to support you, right? I'll meet you all in the next webinar, okay? Actually, Sriram is supposed to join the session, but he had some important meetings and all, so he couldn't join, or else he would have talked for a few more minutes, but he will join the next webinar, right? So bye-bye all. Take care. We'll meet again, once again, or in the next webinar. Thank you. I see some private messages. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Yes, you're also learning. I'm also learning. That's a fact, right? Thank you, team. Bye-bye. I'll meet you all again. Hey, thank you, Rahul, for facilitating this session, right?